Well, Rosa Burc is the head of the Kurdish Society, which is part of the University of London, and she joins us now from our bureau in London. Many thanks for joining us and talking with us. Can we start with getting an idea from you what you think the motive is of ISIS as these actions, particularly towards the Yazidi people?
When we look at the region, we can clearly see that there are so many minorities living there. We have not only a geostrategic important region there, but also a culturally diverse region. We have Ezidis, Shia Turkmen, Shia Kurds, Shebeks. We have Assyrian Christians. So the motive behind ISIS targeting those areas is definitely, in my opinion, ethnic cleansing. ISIS wants to ethnically cleanse the region, and in Arabizing and Islamizing those non-Sunni Muslim minorities.
Now, what we're seeing on the ground at this point, of course, we've been reporting about some people who have escaped from the mountain, and they're actually heading towards Syria, which is a concern in itself. And some people have had access to the humanitarian aid that has been dropped by the Americans and other nations. Talk to us about what you think about the timing of that, and also the airstrikes that have been initiated by the United States.
Well, when we look at the past few days, we can see that international intervention was coming too late. The US intervened at a point of time where already hundreds of Yazidi people died in Mount Sinjar out of starvation. They had no water to drink, and the only humanitarian corridor that was provided by the YPG forces, who have been fighting against groups like ISIS, El-Nusra in Rojava in northern Syria already for like 2 or 3 years. So without the help of Kurdish forces on ground, the humanitarian rescue plans would have been not possible. So I believe that the international community, especially international intervention, needs to cooperate with Kurdish forces because they know what to do, they know the region, they know the landscapes, they know how to strategically get into Mount Sinjar and the region. And I also believe that the military intervention is only a short-term solution. We need a political solution to this story, because Yazidi people are fleeing in the region. There are 250,000 fleeing Yazidi people, and out of a community of 500 to maybe 800,000 in total in the world. So that means a quarter of Yazidi people are forced to migrate. And the international community needs to develop some mechanisms to bring them back home, where they can practice their religion, where they can exist. Otherwise, migration for Yazidi people means assimilation, thus the vanishing of an entire cultural heritage.
And what about those people we talked about who are heading to Syria? What are they going towards? What are they looking forward to there? Have you had any opportunity to have any contact with anyone that's moving in that direction?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the YPG forces have been fighting against Islamist groups in Rojava in northern Syria for more than 2 or 3 years, and they have been able to create a semi-safe and protected area with those 3 cantons. So those Kurdish Yazidi people fleeing to Rojava are looking for semi-protected, will be living in a semi-protected area. However, this is only possible because of those Kurdish involvement. There is no, I mean, they're fleeing from a crisis region into another crisis region. So I don't know if this is really what the international community is looking for. We need to protect those people on a different dimension. This is only a short-term solution.
All right, Rosa Burc, many thanks to you for joining us from London.